Hello everyone, welcome back to Shimna's Study Corner. Today we are going to deal with the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers written by Adrienne Rich.
Adrienne Rich, who was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA, and she is widely known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and a theorist. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, 3 collections of essays and other writings, a strong resistance to racism and military echoes through her work. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life a woman experiences. This poem, as we have seen now, is about Aunt Jennifer. She is a married woman. She is married to a person who is quite abusive. She has been living her life throughout from the time that she was married till this old age under the fear of her husband. There is a mention in the poem that probably this thing is not going to end till her death. And even when she dies, even when she is in her coffin, she would have this burden around her fingers in the form of her marriage ring. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. The very first stanza actually describes about Aunt Jennifer's stitching work. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen. So she has stitched in a few tigers onto this cloth. And what are they doing? They are prancing. To prance means to pounce, to walk. So her tigers are walking around, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. So the poet or the poetess is describing these tigers as bright topaz denizens. Bright topaz, it's a gemstone and its color is yellow. Poetess is referring to the color of the tigers. Bright topaz denizens. The meaning of the word denizens, a person, an animal or a plant that lives, grows or is often found in a particular place. These bright topaz creatures, they are denizens or they are residents of the world of green. World of green here refers to the forests. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. The tigers are least bothered about the presence of the men. They are not at all scared about the presence of the men. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So they prance or they walk, they pace. They walk in sleek chivalric certainty. Sleek means very elegant, very smooth. The word chivalric means brave. And they are certain. The tigers are certain. They are not doubtful about moving around. They are not hesitant. So she has done the stitching of a few tigers, bright yellow tigers on a green background. Okay, so they are walking fearlessly. They are least bothered about the presence of human beings. They are not at all scared. Okay, now the first stanza just gives you an idea about what she has done. Now we are going to contrast the attitude of the tigers in her stitching to what her life is actually. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Okay, now though she is making the stitching of very brave tigers on her canvas, on her screen, what is her situation? Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool. Fluttering here refers to shivering. Now this shiver might be due to the fear of her husband, or it can be due to the heavy or the hard work that she has been doing throughout her married years. So Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. Her fingers are shivering so much that she is finding it difficult even to pull the ivory needle in order to do her stitching. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Now, the wedding band here refers to the wedding ring. She is finding it as a burden on her finger. That shows how difficult a relationship she is having with her husband. Let's see the last stanza. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. This is a suggestion that this torture in her married life will go on till the time she is dead. Okay, so that is why it is referred to her death over here. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. Even when she is dead, even when she is in her coffin, what would happen? Her terrified hands would still be there with, it would be ringed with all the ordeals she was mastered by. Ordeals means struggles. She would still be wearing that ring, which signifies all the abuse, all the struggles that she had to go through, or by which she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So even when she is dead, or when she is lying in her coffin still terrified and dead, the tigers in that panel will still be moving around unafraid. Okay, so this lady making such a panel actually signifies her wish for freedom. She also wishes to live a life like them, unafraid of anyone, according to her own will, but then she can't. She is being subjugated by her relationship with her husband.
So with that, we have come to an end of today's lesson. We'll meet in the next video with a different lesson. Till then, it's bye from me. See ya.